Alright, hello everybody. This video is going to help us hopefully prepare and provide a list of courses to be evaluated, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier with fewer errors and omissions that we have to address later. Of course, VCEA is moving over to the blue course evaluation system, and we're going to provide you a spreadsheet similar to what you see here. It should include all the courses associated with your degree programs. If courses are missing or should not be included, please let us know and we'll pursue that solution. The goal for the video here is to model how to use this spreadsheet to complete the identification of the courses that will be evaluated this term in blue. What's provided here is a spreadsheet. We'll provide one for each school limited to your departmental courses. It includes primarily all instructors that are listed, and unfortunately, as the information comes out of the ZUSIS system, everyone, including the TAs, are identified as instructors in the system. So that means we'll have to take action on each one of the lines here to get things cleared. Two columns need to be completed. The first one, whether or not it's going to be evaluated in blue, there are four options. We're only going to deal with two of them, whether to evaluate it or not evaluate it in blue. These other options may come up later, but for us right now, I think this will work just fine. The other one is the role column here, that right now where they're all instructors. So we'll want to modify that for each of our courses. In that, there's three roles, and let's pull this down and show an example here. The three roles are instructor, TA, and observer. Of course, the instructor's more obvious. The TA should be switched, and then the observer might be an instructor who's on as a zero-effort person just looking at the class, and so they ended up getting imported in the system. And so we'll want to make sure this is clear, because anyone with an instructor listed here or a TA listed here that also has evaluate in blue listed is going to be evaluated in some way. So let's go through a few examples with the engineering courses here. So let's take our Engineering 101 class, and so it shows two instructors, Stephanie and Jeremy here. Stephanie happens to be the TA, so we should modify that for this course. The other thing that needs to be changed is we do want to evaluate this course and the TA, and so by switching them both to evaluate in blue, as Stephanie's TA identifier here and the evaluate in blue are there, those questions will be added to this evaluation. Okay, this ensures that you'll get the course evaluation, the instructor evaluation, and the TA or lab questions that we have typically done. The survey itself hasn't changed. It's the same instrument, and so we're just moving it into blue this semester. So let's take a look at Engineering 107. Some of you will have courses similar to this. It shows two lectures instructors. Again, Stephanie is the TA on this one. And it also shows two lab sections, and we will not be evaluating the lab section here, so we'll be changing those to no evaluation here. But we will be evaluating Stephanie and Jeremy here, and so that adds TA questions similar to the Engineering 101. Okay, so the next course that we're working with, Engineering 120. It's a little complicated this semester because of how it was set up, but we will not be evaluating any of the lectures because we primarily work in the lab portion of the course. And so we'll move all of these to no eval in blue, all of the lecture sections, no eval in blue. And then we'll switch, and each of the labs will be evaluated. But because we have so many peer mentors, TAs, and graders listed, it's very confusing here. And so we're going to change all of the TAs for those sections and all of the instructors. And so section 1 lab, I'm the instructor, and so everyone else should be an observer or a TA. And so Nicole happens to be a grader, so she's going to switch to observer. Coulter is TA. Tim Hanshaw happens to be observing this class. One of the other instructors is observing, or all of the instructors and graders. Isaac, Stephanie, Isaac is TA. Stephanie is observer. I'm the instructor, and another observer. And so as you can see, we have one instructor and 2 TAs for section 1. And so what we'll want to do is go to the first section, no evals, so the TAs will get evaluated, and I will get evaluated. So I'll continue on and do the rest of those for Engineering 120, and I'll get those done, but let's come down here and look at a couple of the other examples. So Engineering 201. Engineering 201 shown here has 4 sections. There is a TA associated with it. We will, in this case, we'll be evaluating the lecture section and the TA, so we need to switch Alex's appointment to the TA, and then we'll leave the lab sections as no evaluation in blue. Okay, the next piece, 420 and 520. These are cross-listed courses. I spoke with the instructor to find out who's responsible. We're showing Todd Baruthier and Carl Olson. It's only necessary that we evaluate the lecture sections, and since 520 does not have any enrollment, we won't have to evaluate those. So these are all set no eval in blue, and the 420 lab sections also set to no eval in blue. The only thing we need to be careful of here is on 420. Todd will be the instructor, and so we'll evaluate Todd for 420 section 1, and then Carl will be moved to an observer with no evaluation associated with it. Oops, sorry about that. I keep getting the wrong thing. Observer, no. Here we go. And then on section 2, it's going to be the opposite of that. Todd becomes the observer, and Carl becomes the instructor who gets an evaluation. Finally, we have a Tri-Cities campus modification. We're going to evaluate this in blue. Richard Cameron's the instructor. There's a lab section, but we'll be the instructor only. So that should take care of all of it. I have to make some changes in the Engineering 120, and then I'll show you how to filter this. All right, so now I've corrected, got all the Engineering 120 stuff straightened out with the pair of TAs and the instructors, and I've done the other ones. Let's take a quick look. So when you're all done, one way that might be helpful is to select, filter the blue evaluation column for just those that you've chosen to evaluate in blue. Filter that. This will give you a chance to look at, in this case, section Engineering 101. We've got the instructor and the TA, so TA questions will be added. Same thing with Engineering 107, instructor and TA. Same thing for each of the Engineering 120 sections. The instructor and the 2 TAs will get questions down through the section 8 here, instructor and 2 TAs. And then finally, we've got Engineering 201 with the instructor and a TA, and then the 3 remaining courses, Engineering 420 with a single instructor, and a single instructor also on the Tri-Cities campus with Engineering 120. So that would finish this, and so it's hopefully this tool will help us keep the data straight. Again, help us by completing columns A and F here, the blue evaluation and the role of the instructor, and then return that to us, and we should be able to make things happen. One other thing to note, if you have a course that has some special grouping that's cross-listed or taught at the same time, please make a note of that in the special groupings column. There's notes in the document that we sent out about this. A phone call about this to either Misty or myself will probably help dramatically. So, but once you're all done, you can send this back to us. It should allow us to work well with the technology folks, assessment of teaching and learning, and get this ready to go. Thank you.